Vashon has food, apparently. And he's wearing a look of quiet determination. The warding scale exhibits no change. It should be safe to remain here and begin our search. But whither now? I would send Tashdaya were she remotely near, but there is nothing. Might you not call to her? Let her know that you have come? Alas, this vessel is not capable of calling across vast distances. For that, I require my true form. And even were it possible, the dragon's call is born upon ether. It is liable to draw more voids to us. I see. In any case, there's little exploration to be done while we are confined to this isolated isle. I propose we begin by learning what we can from the castle's occupants. An understanding of their ways may prove useful to our cause. Very well. Let's hope a few of them are capable of speech. Let all remain vigilant while we go about our inquiries. We reconvene afterwards. Nod. Yes, a castle that doubles as a zone is smart use of resources, in my opinion. That's as far as we can go that way. So we're actually heading backwards through the dungeon. Or through this area of the dungeon. I don't know whether we'll be able to go to the other bits of it. This one does not but stare. You need to talk to the ones with the names over their heads, Justinian. Grr. 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 The creature snarls and glares at you. It is unlikely that you will learn anything from it. Some seem willing enough to converse. Whether they have the ability to do so is another matter. What enticing ether you have. Give me some, give me some. Nuh-uh. Ah, if only I were stronger, I'd be able to eat you. Fine, fine, I'll find someone else to eat. While able to communicate, this one seems to think only of feeding. Better to take your inquiries elsewhere. Indeed. Stola. Like the prevailing tongue in Northrend, the language of this one bears a resemblance to our own. It may be assumed that they share a common ancestor. The mistress's eyes are beauteous, sublime. To bask in her gaze is bliss. But now she's gone. Never again will I feel her gaze. No mistress, no orders. What am I to do now? What am I to do now? The creature mutters endlessly to itself, not sparing you so much as a glance. Yeah, you're creepy. It's interesting because when we went to Northrend, when we went to the first for the first time, it was made very clear to us what the Sin Eaters were. You know, they were people transformed by the lights. But we've been dealing with Void Scent for so long that it's quite difficult to remember that it's exactly the same thing. The Void Scent are the Sin Eaters of the 13th. They used to be the people. They're not demons. They're people. I serve. I obey. Please don't eat me. A dragon? What's that? Does it taste good? I don't know anything about it. Don't know about anything. But the one we caught recently, they seemed to know lots. We threw them in the dungeon, but clever ones are tasty. They might have been eaten already. You've learned all you can from the Void Center. If you look in the dungeon, you may be able to find the clever one it mentioned. This is going to be the lady with the blue hair. Or Xenos' avatar. I do like the fact that we're kind of exploring backwards through it. It makes sense. I have nothing to share. While those I approached had no will to fight, neither were they capable of holding a conversation worth the name. My experience was much the same. Lower rung Void Center tend to have lower intelligence, 'twould seem. No pity Scarmiglione is dead. He was talkative, at least. What of you? Well, shockingly enough, as the Warrior of Light, I happened to find the one that had plenty to say. It's almost like I'm the main character. A clever voice sent in the dungeon. That would be the area in which we emerged. Indeed. Let's take ourselves back there and find this void center, preferably before its fellows make a meal of it. To the dungeon, then. Yeah, I suspect it's probably Xenos's. I don't think it's going to be the blue lady. Unless the blue lady is Xenos' avatar. Oh, yes, I actually need to do it this way. I'm very intrigued as to the nature of these statues. It's very, very Souls-like. You know, and amassed a huge number of statues and mysterious robed figures. Hello, Troyan Knight. I can't survive without someone to give me ether, but where, oh where, will I find a new master? Yes, because that's how the Void-Sent relationship works, isn't it? That's how the hierarchy works. They are given ether by the master the next rank up, if I remember correctly. Doggy! Doggies have nothing to say. Probably because they're doggies. And they're not known for their conversational skills. Doorkeeper! Pray we caught our weakened in the dungeon before being served up to the mistress. Tenderizing, she called it. And that's the way she used to like it. So I assume that was Beatrice. So this used to be a noble house of the 13. Oh, the doggy can speak. Doggy says woof. Thank you, doggy. Okay. Corseri 4. This is a really nice touch. I like this. And it helps that we have that view. What's the weather here? Vacuity, wasn't it? Yeah. So this is the 13th equivalent of everlasting light, one assumes. These little splodges. Just showing things decaying. I thought they were licking each other. Well, I suppose they are. Yeah. Troyan manservants. There's only the one dungeon here. We call it the fourth. The mistress's orders. But the mistress is gone and her orders with her. Rats can infest this castle for all I care. Final Fantasy IV. I was thinking, why does she insist on it being called the fourth? Final Fantasy IV. No one comes and goes from this dungeon without permission. For you, though, I'll make an exception. Go on, go on. These things look like beholders. Like really kind of funky, elaborate beholders. And yet also a little bit like death claws. I really like them. I also really like this wibbly bits. Castle's Val vibes. Ah, yes, there he is. Food for the mistress's consumption is kept in these cells. With the mistress devoured, we're free to help ourselves. I much like the feel of this. Stay on your guard. Could this be the clever void sense? There appears to be someone within. Here we go. I assume we recognise it. That looks like a face of recognition.
You.
Me.
You are the friend.
The friend. Yes, thank you, game. Wait. Didn't you fade away when Xenos fell?
Xenos? The disgraced prince you yourself laid low?
Yeah, this is his avatar.
I see it now. The bottomless darkness. The insatiable hunger. The aura was present when we faced him in Garlemald. When Xenos died, its connection to the source was severed.
Such a cool design.
To the void.
You can't kill it here.
Xenos. Yes, that was his name. And you are the friend, are you not?
Mm-hmm. Quote unquote friend. Ooh. Ah! Handily, the MacGuffin shines.
Heidelin's crystal.
Yes. This isn't going to be our... Oh, is the Blue Reaper lady her? We're going to burn away the... Yeah, it is. This is going to be our reflection from the 13th, isn't it?
But how?
Yeah, returned.
The light just now. Of course.
Just use that.
And thus I am returned.
To what you once were.
What do you mean, returned? Who are you?
I was once bound to the man named Xenos.
Mm-hmm.
His avatar, until you killed him.
Avatar, as in the void-sent servants of Reapers.
Yes, thank you, Stola.
In the name of his hunt, Xenos took up that traditional Garlean art. And through it, he forged a covenant with a being of the void to lend him strength.
Yes. The fact that I'm here on Reaper makes this conversation a little bit redundant.
Covenant? A curse, more like. He stole my power. There was no equity in the arrangement. My very essence was altered. Twisted into a tool to serve his desires.
Does that happen with all avatars, or was it just because it was Xenos and he's a dick?
Your previous appearance. This is your true form, then.
Perhaps, perhaps not. What does it matter?
But you're quite attractive.
Indeed, it doesn't.
Let's be skewy. No.
Regardless of your form, you are a void sent by nature. So answer me this. Are you our enemy too?
In this world, only a fool would attempt to devour a stronger being. And though it was as an avatar, I lost to you once, I have no desire to lose again.
Mm-hmm. So no
But not
fighty.
for me.
Now, you will answer me a question.
Who does she remind me of? Something about the character design reminds me of something.
Xenos called you friend. That's what you are? A friend?
Don't give me the... Oh, you are. I'm me!
So, you're not a friend.
Oops.
Then... what is it? What is a friend?
Oh, she doesn't understand the concept of the word. I suppose that would make sense as a void sent because they don't have familial relationships. Go up. After her we go. Shrug. Yeah. Qu'est-ce que c'est? Okay. I assumed the dungeon was reserved for those intended for the mistress's consumption. 'Tis fortunate that we came here when we did. Fateful, even. When I served Xenos, my mind was shrouded in haze, but one thing was always clear. His obsession with the friend. What the word means, I do not know exactly. I know only that it referred to you and that yours was an important existence. Xenos' avatar, eh? What are the odds? Slim. But hey, coincidences make for good storytelling. Sometimes. We still know little about her, but for now I'm glad we found someone who can do more than moan for ether. As much as one might expect the unexpected, I doubt any of us could have foreseen this turn of events, unless we watched the trailer. She seems different from other Void Sent, at least those we've met, and the change we witness, I suspect, is due to your crystal purging the excess darkness in her. Yes. Even so, she still harbours a great deal of darkness. I'm very keen to hear what she can tell us about herself and about her world. Me too, Stola. Xenos has been added to the Unending Codex. My inventory is full of stuff. While the language of this world is similar to ours, it is a covenant with the Xenos that should ensure we can understand one another. Magic for summoning Void Scent also facilitates communication, you see. Without this component, a mage would struggle to make his mind known to his servants. I'm wondering whether the dark-robed Void Scent has a name. Oh, this one's got a picture. They normally only have pictures if they're duties or trials. So, I doubt you came to the dungeon by pure chance. What is it that you're after? This is a waltz, isn't it? We were looking for a Void Scent with whom we could converse, in the course of which we learned of you. We are visitors to this world and know little and less of its workings and ways. We would be grateful if you could tell us about it. About yourself? So it's information you seek. What do you offer for it? Your life. I beg your pardon? Void Scent. Void Scent do not give unless we stand to gain. If you desire something, you pay the price. That is the sole rule in this world you call the Void. That makes sense. Pray forgive our ignorance. But what would be acceptable as payments? I suspect that such coin as we carry has no value here. Void Scent crave one thing alone, ether. In return for information, I offer you mine. Just not all of it, mind you. I still have need of my life. Very well. I will tell you no more than you can afford to pay. Then we have a bargain. Estella, of all the people to offer up their ether, you are not the smartest one to do it, because that's literally all that's keeping you being able to see. If we're to talk about the Void, let us do so outside. Come with me. I have questions. Many questions. But yeah, the thing that's bothering is the wrong word, but the design of the dark-robed Void Scent reminds me of something or someone. It didn't worry for me. My life force is a small price to pay for her knowledge, and I will cover it quickly enough once we've returned home. We cannot allow Stola to bear the burden alone. When next the opportunity arises, I will offer my own ether. Their one rule is no different from that of many in our own world. It's those like Alphino who are a rare breed. Aww, bromance. Alphino.
This is where I belong. My home. This endless darkness you call the Void.
Mm-hmm.
There was once light here, and it shone its warmth upon creation. The lands were green and the seas were blue. Life flourished.
And then the Ascians screwed everything up.
Before the war, the Contra Memoria.
Ooh, a new thing.
It must have been a terrible war indeed.
Contra Memoria.
It shattered the balance, causing darkness to engulf the world.
Mm-hmm. So that was the calamity.
All life was transformed into monstrosities, Void Scent. We are the natural order now.
As light begat sin eaters, darkness begat void.
Feel like I've already had this explanation.
The sun was driven from the sky as fleeting day yielded to endless night. In time, even land and sea lost their distinction. And though the spark of reason had died in us, driven by memory's shadow, We formed factions and carved out domains.
Mm-hmm.
This castle, for instance, its erstwhile lord must have abided in such a place once upon a time.
If I may, the darkness in you is too much for any man to harbor. To my eyes, you are indeed a void sent.
Mm-hmm.
Yet your knowledge of the past and your demeanor mark you apart from your brethren. You are different. That much is plain. But in what way, I am unsure.
Yes.
As you say, I am void sent, but only in part.
Oh?
The darkness touched my mother when the war had only just begun.
Oh.
When I was still in the womb.
A half void sense.
As a child, I looked like any other, but darkness coursed through me, and I ceased to age when I'd become a woman grown.
So she's been here for thousands of years.
But
Until
that
Xenos
was
ripped her.
then. And now, I may as well be one in full.
And you were. Essentially, until the crystal restored you. That hair
Only the
texture.
weak can serve the strong. I live to survive. Nothing more.
Forgive me. 'Twas not my intent to pry. I realize, too, that I have neglected to ask your name.
Yes.
As we say mortal, you may call me void sent.
That is liable to cause confusion. If you are not averse, we would address you by your true name.
And call me what you will. I care not.
They're being very coy about this. Stoller will come up with a name for you.
How about Zero?
Suddenly? Kingdom Hearts. No. Okay, Zero.
Meaning nothing. A name as fitting as any.
Quite poetic.
No, not nothing, but rather a beginning. For it remains to be seen what you will become to us.
Okay, Stoller.
As I said, I care not. Zero, then.
Tip of the hat. Love the kind of dark purpley blue of her outfit. I think it's a nice name.
A name is a string of sounds. Its meaning has no bearing on my nature.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Zero, while there is no end to the questions we could ask, it is only fair that we tell you our purpose in coming here.
She
We are
cares.
searching for a dragon. One who came to your world long ago.
A dragon?
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Ashdaya is her name, and she is my sister. If you have any knowledge of her, I beg you share it with us.
We are being watched.
Did you say something?
No.
No.
I thought I heard a voice as well. The keening of void scent, perhaps.
No. Okay. Zero. Beginning a curious notion in a world where all has come to an end. No one else seems to be nearby. Perhaps it was just a trick of the wind. If naught is out of the ordinary, I should like to hear more from Zero. Can't imagine there are many part voidsent like her who remember the world as it was. We may have subdued the voidsent here, but I doubt they'll remain that way. Remain vigilant. I must say, we are rather exposed here. Perhaps we should continue the conversation within the castle? The throne room is defensible, given its few points of ingress. Let us head back there. Moving wasn't part of the bargain. I'll comply, but I expect my payment promptly. You shall have it as soon as we've arrived. A very interesting concept that everything should require payments. The void is capitalism. The fact that this floaty thing is an actual reflection of the world, albeit upside down, is very strange. Oh. Huh. Solo duty. Not what I was expecting, but to be fair, if I knew what I was expecting consistently, I'd have no fun with this story. Because I'd know what everything was going to be. All appears unchanged here. I feel eyes on us. Stay alert. Are we going to be attacked whilst doing this? I will see to the payment, and then we may ask Zira what she knows about Ashdaya. Upon proceeding, several cutscenes will play in sequence. It is recommended that you set aside sufficient time to view these scenes in their entirety. In addition, you will be required to participate in battle. Your progress will be saved at certain points. I'm level 620. Isn't that above Savage? Like the next tier of Savage.
This place is as good as any. Let me have the ether now.
Very well.
And attack.
You're mine.
Ah, Scamillione is not dead. Surprise!
But I should miss my mark.
That fiend again? But we struck it down.
It's the void. Nothing dies here.
Fools. Death doesn't exist in this world. And I am free to return whensoever I please.
Which does make things more complicated. But we do have a crystal of light.
Death doesn't exist. Of course, in the first, the power of light, of passivity, prevents life from emerging in the empty. But in the 13th, the power of darkness, of activity, prevents life from finding rest, even should soul be separated from flesh.
Well done, Ustola. You've caught up.
Essence is absorbed by another. It is possible to return again and again.
Mm-hmm. Thus the strong survive.
Your ether. It is reminiscent of that creature's. Ah, my mouth waters at the memory.
You have encountered Ashdaya.
I must devour you too. Yes, I must. Ye drifting souls, by my power be reborn!
Really cool design on Scarmiglione. Ooh, that's cool looking. Ooh. There's
another death they want.
quite a number of them.
If you could lend us a hand, we'd be much obliged.
That you would. But you already owe me a debt, and until you make good on it, I won't lift a finger.
You're such a charmer, Zero.
We'll speak after you've won. But know that if you lose, I'll help myself to your ether.
That a bothersome duty should deliver to me this lavish feast.
We're gonna kick your ass. Probably.
Come, struggle with all your might. It will make you that much richer and tastier.
Okay then. Duty commenced.
Every soul in this domain serves me. Come, feast
Right. Is
upon
there a
death.
tanking?
The castle answers his call. We'd do well to break up this feast quickly.
Yes. Working on it. Thanks, Stoller.
See these guests on their way.
Yeah, this will be fine. Archfiendish powers enhancing Voidset's capabilities and regenerative capacity. What's the... Is that a Stoller doing watery stuff?
Behold the power of the Archfiend of Earth!
He means to resurrect them again.
He hastens their regeneration.
Yes, thank you, Stoller.
We are deathless! You cannot defeat that which cannot die!
You cannot kill what does not live. Do 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 do.
Struggle and slaughter all!
Oh, good, more.
This bodes ill.
Our foe has too great an advantage.
Oh, I could do this all day.
We need to drag him out of this damnable beast.
Ow.
Stand together!
Wonder how.
There's
Huh?
no end in sight. A retreat may be in order.
Yes. It would seem so. Oh, now she's going all Black Mage.
When will you learn? No matter what you do, you cannot hope to win.
I can do this all day.
You never know until you try, and I'm always happy to experiment.
Oh, yes.
Zero! Is there no way to stop them from coming back?
Can't she have their ether?
There is, but I have no reason to share it with you.
Yeah, we kill them. She has their ether.
You know, Zero, you do owe us for one thing.
Giving you a name.
Your name. You'll have your promised ether, but we are owed compensation for your name.
A name for which I did not ask,
Doesn't matter.
but that I nevertheless did accept.
Ooh. Ooh. Slice.
They've been crystallized.
Yes, thank you, Stola.
Well now, that's quite the trick.
How do you do it? Can I do it? This is not part of my toolkits. And that prevents them from disappearing properly. They're liking that hat emote.
Satisfied?
Completely.
Come, my friends. With Zero's aid, we can defeat him.
What is this? What have you done?
Turn them into crystals.
Now that I think on it, you owe me a debt as well. You may have missed your mark, but I won't miss mine.
I think there should have been a slightly different emphasis. You owe me a debt as well, as in talking to Scarmiglione. I think. Okay.
However incurred, a debt is a debt. I will repay it here and now.
Interesting that her picture's got blondish hair.
She can turn void scent into crystal.
Yes, well done, Stola.
What is this power?
You tremble before my truth.
Cursed noise.
Attend to the minions first.
There we go. I've completely lost track of... There we go. Succubi! Ooh. It's not stunning that.
That's far enough.
Yes, that's... Oh.
Trickery will not save.
Reinforcements. This will hurt.
This will hurt.
Impressive.
Lighted sweep. Chances are I want to stand behind you for that.
Pathetic. Useless. Enough. Enough.
No, never enough. Curse bind.
We cannot win without Zero. We must help her.
Ooh, this requires quite a lot of DPS, actually. There we go.
Another debt to repay.
I feel like the debt idea might start getting a little bit old if we're not careful.
I must deal with you first. I'll kill you all myself.
I mean, you can try.
Finally getting serious, are we? Very well. Let us return the favor.
Rotten Rampage. Yep. Fairly safe there. Bleeding!
This place will be your grave!
If you say so. Ah.
This is static. We must stop him now.
Everyone, to me!
Oh, Estinian's doing his, cha-ching!
Give it everything you've got!
Oh, this isn't Estinian. This is Vita doing this. Oosh. Whew. Can't Zero take Scamilliones? Oh, yes, clearly.
Fools! Do not think you have defeated me. I will return again and again.
Are you sure?
What? My flesh? Why won't it heal? What is the meaning of this? To seal ether in crystal. Memoria. But how? How can you have this power? Death has no place in this world. We are beyond it. And yet... Ah, Lord Golbez, you have sent me to my...
Name drop.
Curse you and your wretched flattery, and this abominable thing.
Ooh. I like that refraction of effects. Less that ground texture. So Memoria is the ability to condense ether into crystal. And that was one of the things that's... Ah! Echo! Ah, we get a look at the... Those are just avatars, aren't they? Those aren't the real...
You are welcome, seekers of might.
This is before they turn to the Archfiends?
Have called you for hither. I, who would see us triumph in the coming crusade. That I may entrust you with command of our armies.
Yes, but what of the crew's gift? In exchange for our loyalty, we are to feast on the finest ether.
So that's Scarmiglione.
And so you shall, for if you are to serve me, you must be strong.
Are we going to get a glimpse of what the other three fiends look like?
Then honor the pact and pray we are not disappointed.
Very well. Behold.
There's Ashdaya. Trapped. Oh, were they feeding off her?
The fiery wings, the savage horns.
It's a cool design.
Life, such vibrant ether. This magnificent creature could only come from beyond the veil.
And Golbez has her imprisoned.
Indeed. Feast, my friends. Feast and arise as my 4 arch-fiends.
So that's where they get their power from.
As they are now, they can consume but a fraction of the dragon's ether.
Who are you talking to, Golbez?
Just as well. The creature may yet serve other ends.
So we suspect, or we are led to believe, that Ashdaya is still alive, but probably corrupted, I would say, by this point. Maybe that's what the trial is. Maybe we have to go and put down Ashdaya.
Are you all right?
I'm fine.
The Void Sense essence remains, but it has been sealed away, transformed into crystal.
Memoria. Scarmiglione called them.
Memories
They are connected to the wolf
of Void
which you
Scent.
spoke.
Memories of people that they used to be?
Aye. Their use was central to the Contra Memoria, hence its name. And to my knowledge, the transformation is permanent.
I see. We thank you for coming to our aid.
I repaid a debt, and in doing so ensured that I received my own due compensation, which I shall have now.
Yes, yes. I still have work to do, so I would thank you not to get carried away.
I suppose the Void Scent don't have any ether, do they? Realistically, so she couldn't feast on the crystals.
Ether is the coin of choice. I appreciate the simplicity.
Ooh.
That makes us even, I trust.
Nod.
Right then. When you picked up the crystal, you experienced a vision.
I will be happy when this shadow issue gets sorted out. Well, I saw some interesting things. Why am I still stood in the same pose?
A dragon resembling a great worm. I dare to hope that it was Ashdaya.
Well, I would imagine that we could describe it fairly accurately.
Even as it pains me to think she's been made to suffer.
Well, yes.
For the ambitions of this Golbez.
We've been given much to consider. Let us take a moment to review what we know.
Story recap. I'm still stood in that pose. Well, if Golbez has Ashdaya at his mercy, then we must find him. Hopefully Zero has knowledge that will aid us in our search. We vanquished one of Golbez's archfiends, but 3 remain. As troublesome as this one, I expect. There's nothing like the ether of a living mortal. I haven't felt so satisfied since my return. In light of our recent experiences, I expect we all have questions. I trust Zero can answer some few of them. We should still be owed at least that much, I dare say. From Memoria to Golbez and his archfiends, we have more questions now than answers, but that is a sign we are making progress. Thank you very much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, why not click the like button and consider subscribing. Remember, you can ring the bell notification icon to get notified when new videos go live. And until next time, cheerio.